Men over 50 often feel like their body is slowing down faster than they expected. The flow isn't the same, the pressure isn't the same, even performance begins to feel unpredictable. But here's the truth, nobody tells you these issues don't start down there. They start with circulation, inflammation, and tension building up in the lower abdomen and pelvis, an area most men never pay attention to. And that's exactly where castor oil becomes a game changer. Castor oil isn't magic, it's biology. Wherever castor oil touches, it increases blood flow, breaks down internal stagnation, reduces swelling, and relaxes the tight muscles that restrict natural performance. But the power isn't in drinking it, it's in applying it to the correct area. For men over 50, the key is the lower abdomen, right over the bladder and pelvic floor. This is where congestion builds up from years of sitting, stress, poor circulation, and natural hormonal changes. When this area gets tight or inflamed, the flow weakens, nighttime bathroom visits increase, and confidence starts to slip. Massaging castor oil into this region helps loosen those deeper tissues. It opens pathways, improves lymphatic drainage, and supports the smooth muscles responsible for controlling your flow. Over time, men feel stronger pressure, fewer interruptions, and more natural performance without relying on pills that come with side effects. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about restoring the body's natural rhythm, one that aging tries to steal from you. A 5-minute massage every night allows the oil to penetrate deeply, bringing warmth, nourishment, and circulation to the very muscles and organs that control your masculine vitality. When you take care of this area, when you support your circulation, relax internal tension, and reduce inflammation, your body responds, your flow strengthens. Your confidence rebuilds, your performance wakes back up naturally. You don't need embarrassment. You don't need expensive supplements. You just need to support your body where aging has quietly been working against you. Castor oil is simple, natural, safe, and incredibly powerful for men over 50. And when applied correctly, it restores something far more important than function. Castor oil has been used for generations, but most people don't understand why it works so effectively, especially for men over 50. The real power of castor oil comes from its ability to improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and support lymphatic drainage all at the same time. As men age, these three functions begin to slow down naturally. Blood doesn't move as efficiently. Tissues become more inflamed due to lifestyle, stress, or diet, and the lymphatic system, which is responsible for clearing waste, becomes sluggish. When all of this happens together, it affects the areas men depend on most for healthy flow and natural performance. This is where castor oil becomes more than just a home remedy. It becomes a deeply supportive tool that works with the body, not against it. When castor oil is applied topically, it absorbs through the skin and reaches deeper layers of tissue. It brings warmth, increases microcirculation, and stimulates the smooth muscles underneath the surface. These smooth muscles are responsible for blood flow, bladder function, and performance. But as men cross 50, these muscles weaken due to reduced circulation and inflammation. Castor oil helps reverse that process by reactivating blood movement and reducing the stiffness that builds up over time. This isn't a temporary effect. With consistent use, castor oil supports long-term tissue softness, flexibility, and responsiveness, something men can actually feel in their daily life. Another powerful aspect of castor oil is its anti-inflammatory nature. Many of the issues men over 50 experience are not caused by sudden problems, but by slow, long-term inflammation in the pelvic and abdominal regions. This inflammation restricts the free flow of blood and lymph, which then decreases pressure, weakens performance, and causes more bathroom trips during the night. When castor oil is applied to the lower abdomen, it helps calm this internal inflammation. By doing so, it gives the organs and muscles in this area room to function properly again. Reduced inflammation means less strain, less swelling, and more natural, efficient flow. The lymphatic system is another hidden factor most men overlook. When it becomes congested, toxins and waste build up in the tissues. This contributes to heaviness, tightness, and reduced vitality. Castor oil stimulates lymphatic drainage, helping the body flush out that stagnation. When the lymphatic system begins to move more freely, the lower abdominal and pelvic regions feel lighter, more relaxed, and more energized. This directly influences performance and comfort because these systems are deeply connected to hormonal balance, blood movement, and nerve responsiveness. Castor oil doesn't provide a sudden surge or artificial boost like medication. Instead, it supports the body's natural healing pathways. By improving circulation, reducing inflammation, and activating lymphatic flow, it creates conditions where strength, performance, and pressure return naturally. Men over 50 often think their decline is inevitable, but the body simply needs better internal support. Castor oil provides that support gently, effectively, and consistently. When applied regularly, it helps restore function from the inside out, giving men a renewed sense of vitality and confidence without depending on pills or invasive treatments. Most people have heard about castor oil, but very few understand that its true benefits for men over 50 come from applying it correctly, not consuming it. When it comes to restoring stronger flow and natural performance, placement matters far more than people realize. That the body responds differently when something is taken internally versus when it is absorbed through the skin. Drinking castor oil affects digestion, but applying it directly to the lower abdomen and pelvic region allows it to reach the specific tissues responsible for circulation, smooth muscle function, and pressure control. This is why so many men who try pills or supplements see little improvement, because they are not targeting the actual area that needs support. Topical application of castor oil allows the oil to penetrate layer by layer, reaching deep tissues that become stiff, congested, or inflamed over time. Men over 50 often experience reduced performance and weaker flow because of restricted blood movement and tension in the pelvic floor muscles. These issues do not respond well to oral remedies. They respond to improved circulation in the exact region where stagnation has built up. When castor oil is massaged into the skin, especially in the lower abdomen, it stimulates microcirculation directly where it is needed. It warms the tissue, relaxes tight muscles, and enhances blood flow in a way no pill can achieve. This gentle but powerful effect makes the body more responsive, more flexible, and more capable of performing naturally. Applying castor oil externally also creates an environment where inflammation can calm down. Inflammation in the pelvis or lower abdomen is often silent, slow, and unnoticed until symptoms appear. More frequent bathroom trips, weaker pressure, hesitation, or general discomfort. Pills may temporarily reduce symptoms, but they fail to address the deep tissue inflammation that restricts function. When castor oil is applied topically, its anti-inflammatory compounds work directly on the affected muscles, glands, and soft tissues. Over time, this leads to a noticeable reduction in swelling, tension, and internal pressure. Men often report feeling lighter, more comfortable, and more in control. Another important reason topical application works better than ingestion is that it activates the lymphatic system exactly where it has become sluggish. The lymphatic system plays a major role in cellular waste removal, but it slows significantly with age, lack of movement, and stress. When lymph flow decreases in the pelvic area, the body becomes congested and natural performance begins to decline. Massaging castor oil in this region encourages lymphatic drainage, helping clear stagnation and reduce heaviness that many men describe but can't explain. This internal cleansing effect contributes to better flow, stronger pressure, and improved sensitivity. Using castor oil externally also minimizes the side effects that often come with oral remedies. There is no digestive discomfort, no dependency, and no artificial stimulation. Instead, the body heals gradually, naturally, and sustainably. By applying castor oil to specific areas, men give their bodies the chance to restore circulation, reduce inflammation, and improve muscular responsiveness without overwhelming their system. This targeted approach is the reason so many men experience actual improvement, because they are finally supporting the exact tissues responsible for their performance and flow. The lower abdomen and pelvic region are two of the most overlooked areas in men's health, especially for men over 50. Yet these are the exact zones that hold the tension, congestion, and stagnation that slowly weaken flow and natural performance over time. Most men assume changes in pressure, bathroom frequency, or responsiveness are caused by aging alone, but the real cause is usually hidden within these deeper tissues. Years of sitting, stress, lack of movement, and reduced circulation all create a buildup of tightness and inflammation in this region. This buildup restricts the smooth muscles that control flow and weakens the blood vessels that supply the area. When the lower abdomen becomes congested, the pelvic muscles become stiff, and both systems begin to function with less efficiency than before. The lower abdomen is home to organs and tissues responsible for bladder function, hormonal signaling, and blood flow regulation. When this area becomes inflamed or tight, pressure decreases and hesitation increases. Many men notice changes but do not realize that these symptoms often come from reduced circulation around the pelvic floor, bladder, and surrounding tissues. Castor oil becomes effective because it directly targets this region when applied on the surface. The oil's warming and penetrating nature helps soften these tissues, enhance blood flow, and loosen the internal tension that has built up over decades. The pelvic region is even more important. This network of muscles supports the bladder, controls urine flow, and contributes to sexual performance. When these muscles are weak or tense, both flow and performance decline. Men may experience slower stream, nighttime urgency, or reduced firmness, not because something is wrong, but because the pelvic area is not getting enough circulation to function at full capability. Inflammation, which increases naturally with age, further restricts these tissues, making them less responsive. Applying castor oil helps reduce this inflammation and reintroduces mobility, flexibility, and warmth where stiffness has taken hold. Another major issue men face as they age is lymphatic stagnation. The lymph system works like the body's drainage machine, clearing out waste, toxins, and excess fluid. When lymph flow slows in the lower abdomen and pelvic region, the tissues become heavier, less responsive, and more congested. This contributes to the subtle decline men often feel but cannot easily describe. The reason castor oil works so well in this area is because it naturally stimulates lymphatic movement. When applied consistently, it helps clear stagnation, reduce swelling, and create a lighter, freer feeling in the lower belly and pelvis. All of these changes, tight muscles, slow circulation, inflammation, and lymph congestion are deeply connected. When one system slows down, the others follow. That is why men experience weaker performance gradually, not suddenly. The beauty of castor oil is that it addresses these issues at the source. It improves blood flow, reduces stiffness, and supports drainage directly in the areas that control masculine function. When the lower abdomen and pelvic region are nourished and restored, flow improves naturally. Pressure becomes stronger and performance returns with confidence. This is not a temporary fix. It is a gradual, steady awakening of the body's natural abilities. Daily application of castor oil is where the real transformation begins because consistency allows the oil to work deeply within the tissues that control flow, pressure, and performance. When men apply castor oil only once or twice, they rarely experience noticeable changes. But when it becomes a nightly habit, the oil has time to soften tight muscles, improve circulation, and break down the deeper congestion that has developed over years. The lower abdomen and pelvic region hold a surprising amount of tension in men over 50. Some of this comes from sitting for long hours, some from stress, and some simply from the natural aging process. Over time, this tension becomes layered, creating stiffness and reducing flexibility within the smooth muscles responsible for maintaining a strong stream and healthy performance. Consistent application of castor oil helps unwind these layers gradually, returning movement and softness to areas that have grown rigid. Castor oil works best when applied with slow, gentle massage. This combination increases warmth and enhances the oil's ability to penetrate deeper tissues. As the oil seeps in, it activates microcirculation, bringing fresh blood to areas that have been stagnating. When blood flow increases, tissues become healthier, stronger, and more responsive. This directly contributes to better pressure during urination and improved natural function. Men often underestimate how much circulation affects performance. Poor circulation means less oxygen, less nourishment, and slower tissue repair. But daily application gives the body the continuous boost it needs to restore strong, healthy blood movement. Another key benefit of consistent use is the gradual breakdown of internal stagnation. Over the years, small adhesions and pockets of congestion form beneath the skin in the lower abdomen and pelvic region. These adhesions restrict movement, create inflammation, and make the area feel tight or heavy. Castor oil has a unique ability to soften these hardened spots and encourage the body to dissolve them naturally. But this only happens with repetition. Each daily application helps weaken the buildup, allowing the tissues to function more freely. This is one of the main reasons men who use castor oil consistently begin to feel lighter, more relaxed, and more open in their pelvic area. Daily application also supports lymphatic health, which is crucial for men over 50. The lymphatic system works to remove waste, toxins, and excess fluid, but it becomes slower with age. When lymph flow decreases, men may feel pressure or fullness in the lower belly or experience increased nighttime urination. By messaging castor oil daily, the lymphatic channels become more active, helping the body flush out stagnation and reduce swelling. This contributes to greater comfort and smoother flow throughout the day. The final benefit of regular application is the cumulative impact it has on hormonal balance and nerve responsiveness. When tissues are nourished, well circulated, and free from inflammation, they respond better to signals from the brain and nervous system. This means improved sensation, stronger performance, and more control. The key is patience and consistency. Just 5 minutes each night allows castor oil to gradually restore the body's natural rhythm. Over time, men experience improvements that feel natural, smooth, and sustainable because the body is simply functioning the way it was meant to. Better flow isn't just about stronger pressure or fewer bathroom interruptions. It's about giving the body the internal support it needs to function naturally again. As men cross 50, their confidence often begins to shift because the physical signals they once relied on start to change. The bladder doesn't empty as powerfully, nighttime urges become more frequent, and performance becomes less predictable. These changes affect more than the body, they affect how a man feels about himself. But when circulation improves, inflammation decreases, and the pelvic tissues become more flexible and responsive, the entire system begins to awaken again. This is where castor oil can have a major impact. It supports the deeper tissues that control these functions, giving men a gentle, natural way to rebuild what aging gradually slows down. The reason castor oil is so effective in restoring confidence is because it works directly on the systems that control flow and performance: the smooth muscles, the pelvic floor, the lymphatic pathways, and the surrounding tissues. When these systems are stiff or congested, pressure weakens. But when they are nourished and well circulated, everything functions more smoothly. Improved blood flow brings more oxygen and nutrients to the pelvic muscles, helping them contract and relax efficiently. This results in more stable pressure, better bladder control, and increased responsiveness. Many men overlook how closely these elements are connected, but once circulation improves, the entire pelvic region becomes stronger, more active, and more dependable. Another benefit of restoring circulation and reducing inflammation is the improvement in nighttime comfort. Many men over 50 wake up multiple times to urinate, not because their bladder is weak, but because inflammation and poor lymphatic drainage put pressure on the area. When castor oil is applied consistently, the tissues soften, swelling reduces, and the bladder can empty more effectively. Over time, nighttime trips decrease, sleep improves, and men wake up feeling more rested and more confident in their body's ability to function properly. This alone can improve quality of life in ways men don't realize until the problem begins to resolve. One of the most important aspects of natural performance is nerve responsiveness. When the pelvic region lacks circulation, the nerves become less sensitive and slower to respond. This can affect both flow and sexual performance. Castor oil helps improve nerve function indirectly by restoring circulation and reducing inflammation around the nerves. As these tissues become healthier, signals travel more efficiently. Men begin to feel more in control, more responsive, and more connected to their physical sensations. This is a subtle but powerful transformation that builds confidence gradually and naturally. Beyond the physical improvements, the emotional benefits are just as significant. When a man regains control over his flow, when he feels strong pressure again, when performance becomes reliable instead of uncertain, his confidence returns. He feels younger, more capable, and more grounded in his masculinity. And because castor oil works gently, without harsh chemicals or side effects, this confidence comes from truly supporting the body, not forcing it. With consistency, men experience changes that feel natural and sustainable, allowing them to reclaim comfort, control, and vitality with simple daily care. One of the most powerful truths men over 50 need to understand is that the body is not failing. It is simply asking for better support. When circulation improves and inflammation decreases, natural performance returns because the body is finally able to function the way it was designed to. This is why consistency with castor oil becomes such an important tool. Over time, it strengthens pressure, supports healthier flow, and restores responsiveness, allowing men to regain confidence without relying on pills or artificial boosters. These changes don't happen overnight, but they happen steadily, and men feel the difference in ways that impact their daily life, their comfort, and their self-image. Better flow leads to better bladder control, and this alone changes a man's daily routine. Instead of rushing to the bathroom or feeling uncertainty about pressure, he begins to feel stable and strong again. The pelvic muscles, which tend to weaken with age, become more responsive as circulation improves. This responsiveness makes urination smoother, steadier, and more complete. When the bladder empties more fully, nighttime interruptions naturally decrease because the body is no longer holding residual tension or fluid. Over the weeks, men notice that they sleep deeper, feel more rested, and experience fewer sudden urges during the day. These improvements come from internal restoration, not external stimulation. Natural performance also depends heavily on the health of the tissues surrounding the pelvic floor. When they are stiff or inflamed, performance weakens. When they soften, gain flexibility, and receive healthy blood flow, everything becomes more reliable. Castor oil helps these tissues regain elasticity by reducing deep-seated tightness and encouraging healthy movement. As the pelvic region becomes less congested, the nerves begin to respond more clearly. This restores sensation and enhances control, allowing men to feel more connected to their bodies and more confident in their abilities. With continued use, men also notice improvements in stamina and overall energy. A significant factor behind low performance after 50 is internal stagnation. When blood moves slowly, waste accumulates and tissues don't receive enough oxygen. Castor oil helps reverse this by supporting the lymphatic system and improving circulation. When stagnation clears, the body feels lighter and more energized. This energy makes physical activity easier, reduces fatigue, and supports hormonal balance, all of which contribute to stronger natural performance. The most important benefit of daily castor oil application is that it works harmoniously with the body. There are no artificial spikes, no sudden crashes, and no disruptions to natural rhythms. Instead, the body gradually rebuilds its own strength. This gives men sustainable results that last longer and feel more natural. When they regain stronger flow, better control, and improved performance, they also regain something deeper: confidence. That confidence affects posture, mood, and relationships. It influences how they carry themselves and how they interact with the world. In the end, the goal is not just stronger flow or improved performance, it is restoring a man's belief in his own vitality. Castor oil helps achieve that because it restores the systems that aging tries to slow down. With patience and consistency, men experience real changes that feel authentic, empowering, and long-lasting, giving them a renewed sense of health and masculinity. At the end of the day, your body isn't giving up on you. It's simply reminding you that it needs care, attention, and circulation in the places that aging quietly affects the most. Men over 50 often assume that slower flow, weaker pressure, or unpredictable performance are just signs of getting older, things they have to accept. But you now understand that these changes aren't permanent, and they're not a life sentence. They're signals. Signals telling you that with the right support, the right routine, and the right natural tools, your body can bounce back, rebuild, and respond with strength. And castor oil is one of the simplest, safest, and most effective ways to activate that recovery. When you apply it correctly and consistently, you're not just putting oil on your skin, you're restoring circulation, dissolving stagnation, and waking up muscles that have been silent for far too long. Every massage brings warmth, softness, and life back into the tissues that control your confidence and your comfort. These small nightly steps add up, and over time, the results become impossible to ignore. Stronger flow, better control, more natural performance, deeper sleep, greater confidence. These changes don't come from a pill bottle. They come from returning your body to its natural rhythm. A rhythm that age tried to slow down but didn't take away. You have the ability to support your health from the inside out, to feel younger in your body, more capable in your daily life, and more confident as a man. So don't wait. Don't doubt yourself. Your body can still do everything it was designed to do. It just needs you to show up for it. Start tonight. Make it a routine. Give yourself 5 minutes of care, and your body will give you back strength, control, and vitality you thought were long gone. This is your time to reclaim your flow, reclaim your power, and reclaim your confidence naturally, gently, and with results you can feel. It restores your confidence, your comfort, and your sense of control.